Worldless. This game has a parry, so it makes it into parry review. Guys, you have no idea how close I was to not playing this game. This game was in my backlog, and then I removed it from my list, and then I added it back again, and I'm so glad that I played this game because you're about to hear me gush over this game for like the next 10 minutes. So I'll let you know from now that there is traversal in this game because this is a Metroidvania. You can jump and dash and wall run, but this is parry review, so let's just focus on the parries for now. And okay, I'm gonna tell you the reason why I almost didn't play this game. This is a turn-based game, but it really isn't. It really isn't, because if this were like a live action sort of game and not turn-based, it would be too hectic. The reason this game is perfect is because it makes all the elements fit within the turn-based element is what stops this game from devolving into chaos, and it's brilliant. So let me get into the details. In this game, there is the turn in which you attack, and then there is the turn in which you defend, which means that the enemy will be attacking you. And when you attack, that is the turn in which the enemy will be defending from you. But it doesn't matter what turn it is, everything in this game is timing based. So your attacks, you can make them stronger by hitting the attack button again just as your attack lands. So it's like a parry. But more so than a parry, I would compare it to Nero in Devil May Cry, his revving mechanism, that you can rev your sword. It's the same thing. If you press the button just as your attack lands, so when you do that in this game, it allows you to extend your combo and you also do more damage. And obviously there's the parry and the perfect, there's the guard, the block, right? And the perfect parry, which is obviously the perfect parry is clearly timing based, you know, it's timing focused. But this game just so brilliantly managed to... this is the most entertaining turn-based game I've ever played in my life, and probably ever will play in my life unless they do a sequel. And if you haven't played this game, the closest thing you've played to a turn-based game like this is like Paper Mario, the one for the GameCube. I don't know if you remember that one, 2004 I think. That's the closest thing, but this thing has like way more action than Paper Mario and is way more stimulating and fun. So when the enemy's gonna attack you, you'll see either a horizontal line, that means he's gonna do a melee attack, or you'll see a vertical line, which means he's gonna do a magic attack. If he does a magic attack, you wanna block, you wanna do the magic block, or the magic parry. And if he does a melee attack, you want to do the melee block or the melee perfect parry, right? That's what you want to be doing. So again, every action in this game gets better and stronger if you time it perfectly. So it's like, it's brilliant, man. And it just goes to show you that Hi-Fi Rush isn't the only game, or Sekiro aren't the only games that like use parry and timing, just rhythmic timing to its fullest. I would say this game, well, I can't say for Hi-Fi Rush, but for sure this game, the timing things is more fun than Sekiro, for sure. I don't want to keep saying Sekiro because that's like summoning Beetlejuice, and then I'm gonna have to do a review on Sekiro. I'm just very pleasantly surprised by this game. I think I can say, I'm gonna say it, I love this game. That's insane. One thing that's very noticeable when you're parrying attacks in this game is that some attacks are way easier to perfect parry than others. So in this game, enemies have a life bar. Well, not all enemies, but what all enemies do have is like an absorption bar, which is, it's a little diamond that you're gonna see in the lower right corner. This enemy, you don't see it right now because you have to attack him a few times before you expose his absorption meter, which is basically like the posture in Sekiro. It looks like a diamond. Some enemies will have protection around their posture meter. That protection will determine whether you have to attack them with a melee attack or a magic attack. Once you do break the protection on their posture, they will take a double absorption damage, meaning double posture damage. And what you want to be doing in this game is, rather than depleting the enemy's health bar, you want to absorb them. That way you can learn new skills. You want to be killing every single enemy like that. Just try to absorb every single enemy, because if you don't, they're not actually dead. Another thing is, you don't die in this game when your health bar depletes. You get knocked out of combat, and then you can try again. They put you right next to the enemy, and you can keep trying to fight him over and over, which is great because that means this game doesn't waste time with game over screens, and this game incentivizes you to play it. It's like saying, hey, you lost, that doesn't matter, try again immediately. And that is such a player conscious game design choice. You know, just it gives you freedom. It gives you freedom, honestly. So when it comes to breaking enemies' posture and absorbing them, you see that little line in the circle at the bottom right? That's his posture. That little circle with a line. When you fill that all the way to the line, means you can absorb your enemy. However, if you fill it all the way to the top, when you absorb your enemy, you don't have to do the quick time event. There's a quick time event where if you don't fill the posture completely, you do a quick time event, but then the last two inputs are, you don't know them. They're like disguised, and you have to guess which input you did. And the inputs are all done with the face buttons. You don't use any shoulder buttons for that. Obviously, filling their posture meter, breaking their posture completely, removes the guessing element and makes it way easier to absorb the enemies. But some enemies have very little health, and you'll have no choice but to play the guessing game when you initiate the absorption. This game also has a counterattack skill that you learn by absorbing enemies. Then you go to like your skill tree and you learn. You use your currency to learn new skills. And this counterattack skill, what it does, I think I do it in the next fight, but what it does is your shield is going to start glowing yellow. My shield is yellow right now, except that in this fight, I didn't know how to use the counter yet. For me, I have the counter set to the Y button on the Xbox controller, and what the counter does is it only counters physical attacks, and also fusion attacks, which is a physical attack that happens to have magic, but it's also partly physical, so you can counter it. So you want to do like a normal parry, but instead of using I use the A and X buttons for my parries, but if you want to counter, press the Y button just as the attack is about to connect, and you'll do a counter. And then after that, press the attack button again, which for me is the A button, and then you'll do the reprisal, you'll do the actual counterattack. And what that does is that it steals the enemy's turn. Normally you attack during your turn, then you defend during the enemy's turn, but if you successfully counterattack them, it's your turn all over again. You steal their turn. But because this game is so timing focused, I wouldn't say that counterattacking is a... What counterattacking does is it increases your DPS basically, because you have like a double turn. You get to steal his turn. But because this game is so focused on timing and all that, this is one of the few games that I can honestly say like it didn't really need a counterattack. I love that it's there. I love it, and I can't get enough of it. But because everything in this game is about timing. Literally, this game is like non-stop time your everything. Time everything at every moment, never stop timing. See, that I just perfect parried that. He turned into a sword and I just perfect parried it. This game, my attacks, I'm timing them perfectly as well, as you can see, because I glow, like little circles come out of me. When you time things perfectly, there's like circles that come out of you. And that's the game telling you like, hey, you're doing things perfect, which is awesome. But again, Even though this game didn't need a counterattack, because this game is like a perpetual counterattack that never ends. That's how I would describe this game. So even though the counterattack doesn't need to be there, it's still there, and you can still turn the tables on your enemy, and I love it. I'm gonna keep playing this footage because this footage I'm watching right now, I think I'm gonna absorb this guy pretty soon. Yeah, right now. See? But there was no quick time because I had fully broken his posture. I think for this guy now, I'm finally gonna use the counter. Let's wait until my shield gets yellow. Right? It's white right now. You have to parry like 6 attacks, or you have to perfect parry 6 attacks in order to then use your counter. 1, 2. Okay, my shield is still white. Let's just keep waiting for it. And you see I'm timing my attacks perfectly because you can see the bubbles coming out of me. There we go. See that? Did you see that yellow thing that happened? Now I can use the counter. When it's his turn, I'll use the counter. Hopefully. Hopefully, because this is the first fight I think that I ever used the counter. There we go. I just used it. And I didn't do the counterattack. I just did like the I think this game calls this shit a guard impact, which is when you do the counter without the reprisal. But you don't have to do the reprisal. Just from doing the guard impact, you will steal the enemy's turn. You will force the game to let you attack again. So that's just great, man. Really, really, guys, you have no idea how close I was to not even playing this game and just skipping it entirely and living my life without knowing this game exists. There we go. And I think, there we go, that was a counterattack. That yellow laser. I think he throws his shield. I don't know what it is, but there we go. You just finally saw the counterattack right there. So good. And listen, guys, I'm gonna play this game in its entirety. I'm gonna pass this game completely. I'm so in love with it right now. So, okay, parry metric. On the parry, 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 on the parry metric. On the fun and enjoyment scale, oh man, let's give it a 9. And I might even up it to like a perfect score, but I doubt it. Anyway, 8 out of 10 on the parry metric, and 9 out of 10 on the fun and enjoyment scale. My god, guys, what a banger. What a great game. See, this is the quick time event, because I didn't completely break his posture. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching, take care, and enjoy.